day Riftbounders, or Summoners as I prefer. Going into this new set that the PAX reveals did reveal quite a lot of new cards, and since then a few extras have shown up over the internet. I think we are still owed technically a few cards from the revealings due to likes from the X posts, so hopefully we do get a few more to cover the bases, but currently they've done quite a good job of giving us the extra showcases that we didn't know about before. Jumping into this set now, Spiritforged is essentially the Ionian version of the card game, so who better than to showcase this as Irelia as the champion of Ionia. So let's jump in with Irelia for 5 energy and 4 might in the Calm domain with the ability of Deflect, which opponents must pay an additional cost to choose me with a spell or ability. So if it costs 3, it now costs 4, and if it targets multiple times, it now costs 1 per targeting spell. So maybe trying to counter Kaiser a little bit here, but maybe not so much. But again, it's always nice to see a little bit of pushback into the meta. When you choose to ready me, give me +1 might for this turn. So again, going mighty straight away is always a good choice, and having the ability to push out with a bigger body is always fun. Now I suspect it to have ganking in one of these variants of Aurelia due to how she moves around the field with her Q, but not today. We also got a beautiful alternate art here that's a bit more fiery, shall we say, but again a very good choice for alternate arts for Aurelia. We also get to see a showcase for Aurelia later on, but right now this is what we're seeing. The first new equipment that was revealed during this weekend was Doran's Blade for the energy cost of 2, domain body, equipped for a body ruin, and with the flavor text of I guess I could throw it at somebody, misfortune. But it does give +2 might, so currently costings do seem to be in level with their might given. Although the effect of this doesn't have one, it's nice to see that they are trying to push a early weapon with a bit more power. Here to help, a card that we saw much earlier in the week as a little teaser to start off the reveal week that didn't do anything until the Friday, I believe. For an energy cost of 2 and a power cost of 1 body, Dominion body, and the ability with Hidden, which means to hide now for a cost of 1, to react with it later for a cost of 0. An action to play on your turn or in showdowns, you may play a unit from the hand to the battlefield you control, reducing its cost by 3. This being said, people are already proclaiming that Volibear is now tier 0 with this card, but again, it's nice to hope the bear gets some love down the line. Doran's Ring now for the energy cost of 1 and a might of 1, Dominion of Chaos, everyone loves Chaos, and then a beautiful little summary here of when I conquer, discard 1 and then draw 1, which to me makes this a very good Jinx card and maybe a Draven card. I would have thought that Doran's Ring would have been more of a blue archetypal, just because a lot of the mages do seem to be blue in essence, but in Chaos with this effect it makes a lot of sense. Hopefully Vargo's going to be purple. A secondary Irelia, the Graceful Irelia here, for an energy cost of 4, a power cost of 1 Chaos, and the might of 4. In the Dominion of Chaos, as you may have guessed, your spells that choose me cost 1 or a power less. I'm sure we can just endguard it for a little bit better. Overall though, I do quite like this Aurelia, and it does seem to have more of a battle favor spell mechanic than just a punch you really hard kind of mechanic personally. So it could be good, more of a counter react unit on the battlefield. Comes with a also gorgeous looking alternate art that I'm sure a lot of people are going to be chasing after, hopefully keeping the price of the original down a little bit more. Next in is Rumble, the mechanized menace in Fury and Mind, with the ability of your mechs have shield +1, so when they defend they have +1 might. Fantastic here if you do get a lot more mechanized machinery units going forwards. Rumble was also given a gorgeous showcase to go along with this, and I do like this, I'm going to say arcanic style that we did see during that artwork, and I think we've seen it in Worlds trailers before. I do really enjoy this sort of style of pastel-y design work. Danger Zone, the energy cost of 1 and a power of either a Fury or a Mind, as it is Fury or Mind. You can react, so play at any time, even before spells and abilities resolve, and then repeat 1 and a power. You may pay the additional cost to repeat this spell's effect. Give your mechs +1 for this turn. So essentially, you can give them +2 for the cost of 2 and 2. I'm presuming repeat is a single-use repeat, and you can't just basically empty your runes for the love of all giant mechanizations. Lucian, the Purifier here, demeanor of Fury and Body. Your equipment each give Assault +1, so while you are attacking, you get an additional might for each equipment attached. So, fairly good for somebody who wants to get into the battlefield. And Relentless Pursuit for energy of 2 and a power of either a Fury or a Body. Action, play on your turn or in showdowns. Move a friendly unit. You may attach an equipment with the same controller to it. This turn, that unit has, when I conquer, you may move me to the base, which I think is a fairly good way of getting out of danger after you've already scored your points, especially if your opponent doesn't have a way of fighting back on their following turn. Now, a card that I've been looking forward to since we got the sneaky reveal slightly earlier in the week, which is Rek'Sai, my queen. Void, a Borrower, Fury and Order, perfect for a queen of any reign. When you conquer, you may exhaust me to reveal the top 2 cards of your main deck. You may play 1, then recycle the rest. Because this doesn't claim that it's for free, you have to pay a cost to play it. I will presume though that her voidlings that you play in this deck either have a reduced cost when found at the top of the deck, play me for free clause if found through searching. So it could be a good synergistic stuff with any other look at the top part of your deck in red or yellow, although currently I think that's mostly a purple thing, and to be fair I thought it was going to be a purple card. We also have a Void Rush, which is for 2 energy and a power of either Fury or Order. Reveal the top 2 cards of your main deck. You may play one of them, reducing its cost by 2. Draw any you did not play this way. Again, it might be a case of we have a lot of things that have a reduced cost. It might be a case of, hey, I'm a 5 cost normally. If you find me at the top of the deck, I'm actually 2 cost. Then you can reduce it by 2 and play it and draw the other card. Or maybe you don't have the way of playing it, so you have to draw 2 cards. Which, as far as I'm aware, we don't have any way of being punished for this right now. But I do quite like the idea of getting things out faster and cheaper for the queen. Ornn, Fire Below the Mountain, as he is the Forger. Reaction, add 1, use only to play gear or use gear abilities. Abilities that add resources can't be reacted to, so essentially they can't stop you from gaining this power. Overall though, I do like Ornn as the equipping legend. It makes sense as he's the guy who just in battle would just go, no, give me a second, I'm just going to make the shield. So I do quite like this. He also has a fantastic looking alternate art in the same style that the Rumble alternate art is in. And overall though, I do like this cheeky little smile that he has here. Jax, the Grandmaster at Arms, give him a real weapon, see what you can do. But in the Calm and Body typing, but for 1 and resting, attach a detached equipment you control to a unit you control. Or to rest, attach an equipped equipment you control to a unit you control. So essentially, passing weapons around. I can see it's been quite good if you're trying to take 2 battlefields at once and you have a good chunk of gear on 1 unit in the currently winning battlefield, but the one on the other side needs a little bit more assistance. So I can see it's been a cool combat trick if it works in that timing. A Blade Dancer Irelia in Calm and Chaos, which makes sense as we've seen that both her cards are green and purple. When you choose a friendly unit, you may exhaust me and pay 1 to ready it. When you conquer, you may pay 1 to ready me. So essentially, it's just a case of getting things in and out of the battlefield. Makes a good amount of sense to me. I would like to see what common and uncommon cards we get for these decks, so it might make more sense that way. But again, generally a fun and interesting style of card. And again, it comes with this cool pastel-y looking alternate art here. Again, I do like these like slightly off-tone cards in terms of colouring, but again, a very beautiful card. And it's a great looking showcase. As everyone else has had their ability shown already, we do get the signature spell for Irelia, which is Defiant Dance, for an energy cost of 1 and a power of 1 Calm or Chaos. React, play anytime, even before spells and abilities resolve. Give a unit +2 this turn and another unit -2 this turn. So, very good. Again, with the other Irelia, you can just use this to essentially reduce the power or the energy, so you're going to pay the one or the other. And I look forward to seeing how defiant this makes that card overall. But again, going from 4 to 6 and your opponent going from maybe 6 to 4 does swing the tide of battle. Ezreal, Prodigal Explorer in the Mind and Chaos, because of course he is. Exhaust, reaction, draw 1, use only if you've chosen enemy units and or gear twice this turn with spells or unit abilities. We need to see more of what Ezreal does, but it does seem to be a kind of reaction deck. I look forward to seeing actually how good Ezreal will be. Drawing cards is always strong in any card game, especially in a card game where you only have a 40 card deck and you start with 4 cards in hand. Fiora, Grand Duelist in Body and Order. Again, we've already seen the original Fiora from set 1. When one of your units becomes mighty, you may exhaust me to channel 1 Exhausted Ruin. A unit is mighty while it has 5+ might. I think people are trying to figure out now if units that come in at 5 automatically are mighty, or if it's only when you physically go from 4 to 5 that the mighty activates. Especially with how Fiora already wants to play, so it would be nice to see what goes on with the body side of Fiora when her card is revealed later on. And back to Irelia again. As we did mention earlier on, we do get these cool looking showcases and very, very pretty. I do expect these to sell for a pretty penny, but we also have the signatures back again. So Shen Bo doing a lovely alternate art here, and we also get the blue Ori back from set 1, as we are getting some cool reprints for these cards. This also comes with a signature. We are also getting our hands on the seals again in an alternate art, but in an alternate art that fits this style somewhat well. Currently we have seen the purple, the green and the orange seals, which means that we'll be seeing the others hopefully sooner than later. We've also seen the Brawler set getting a cool Ionian looking showcase, which sort of debuts from the Spirit Blossom set that we got a few years ago in the game, as well as a Vayne from set 1 in a similar Spirit Blossom-y looking aesthetic. Overall though, some very interesting cards have been shown this weekend and makes me look forward to set 2 even more. So, catch you on the flip side, Riftbounders. Mwah!